Hello and welcome to part 2 of the Extra Utilities mod spotlight. In this episode I will be going over the QED, the Ender Quarry, all of its specific upgrades, and the various pipes and their upgrades as well. Alright, so first up we have the QED, the quail-eating ducks. It was the quantum emission detector or something like that. It changes name every time you look at it, so that's not a big deal. So pretty much you build the QED and then you put in the recipe that it needs and it will be powered by these Ender Flux crystals. The more Ender Flux crystals that you have, the faster it will create the item, in this case a transfer node. The Ender Flux crystals are able to power a QED up to 9 blocks away. The 10th it will not work, as seen by this Ender Flux crystal being blue instead of green. Now, if I say take that away, all the crystals go blue, meaning that they are not producing power. But when I stick the gold back in, they all switch to green except for that last one, which is out of range. Pretty nifty to see which Ender Flux crystals are in range and which aren't. Just pop something in, and they will turn green if they're in range. Next up, we have the Ender Quarry. The Ender Quarry is Extra Utilities' answer to the Buildcraft Quarry, but being Extra Utilities is far better on the processing power of your server or single player world due to not creating gigantic holes. The Ender Quarry, as seen over here, will turn an area into grass or dirt after it has mined that specific block. Another benefit of the Ender Quarry is that it will only keep a single chunk loaded at any given time, which is also pretty nice. It will keep its chunk loaded if it's different, and the chunk that it is currently mining. So here's one way to set up the Ender Quarry. The Ender Quarry is right here, and then you can either do default Minecraft fences to create a border, or you can use these Ender markers. The difference between the fence and the Ender markers is the fence must connect to the Ender Quarry on the corners. It must be in a corner or in the middle. I prefer corners because then you can have 2 upgrades and a top and bottom, as opposed to just the top and bottom and one side for being able to use upgrades. The Ender markers are better because only one needs to be in the connecting block to an Ender Quarry. The rest of them can be away, and I wish that they had a little particle effect that lined them up, but just make sure they're on the same line. And here, let's grab ourselves an Ender Quarry, delete that, and it is not active right now, but when you right click it gets a little bit darker green and it will say successfully establishing boundary. Now that it has established a boundary, we can power it. Let's grab ourselves a Nether Star. Alright, so for the next 2 minutes, it is mining. Well, it has power, and as you can see, it mined all that sandstone, all of it, and converted it all to dirt. So if I just dig, it's dirt everywhere. So, pretty nifty. Replaces all blocks it mines with dirt. And when you right click on it again, it will be gray and it will say the quarry has finished, letting you know it's done. Now, for example, let's grab ourselves an Ender Quarry, another Nether Star generator, and an Ender Pump upgrade, and let's just get a speed upgrade just to show you guys how it works. And we should grab one of these as well. So, to do a Ender Quarry, let's just say we want to mine this area right here. Right there. Yep, that's square. Then let's make a line of water just to show you the pump upgrade. Water. There we go. Actually, let's just have 3 buckets of water so it's not an infinite source, because the Ender Quarry does not like infinite sources of water. Alright, so let's stick the Ender Quarry right there. The Ender Pump upgrade goes in on any of the sides. That's how you attach upgrades to the ender quarries. You just put the block that the upgrade is right next to it, and you will see that it gets a little attached thing. Unfortunately, you can't attach an upgrade to an upgrade. You can tell because they are not connected by that little alternating blue and green texture. So we have a speed upgrade and a pump upgrade. Now let's do this. Let's stick the Nether Star generator underneath for the power. A chest. Oh wait, just grab a, no, we need an empty drum. Drum. Get ourselves a drum, stick the drum on top, chest on the side, and then grab ourselves a Nether Star. Pop. Now when I pop this in, it will do its quarry thing. Pop in the Nether Star. There it's going. Oh, it got to the water, and the water went into the drum because the drum is directly attached to the Nether quarry on an input side. There goes another. And there goes the third. We now have all 3 buckets of water in the drum. Now you can use the Tesseract from thermal expansion to output it all to a different area, as I have here. Just put the Tesseract on one of the sides, and then another Tesseract with pipes. I prefer the transfer nodes to the various areas like a chest or a drum. In any case, here are the upgrades that the Ender Quarry has. There's Silk Touch, Fortune 1, Fortune 2, Fortune 3, Speed 1, Speed 2, and Speed 3, as well as the pump. Next up, we have the Block Update Detector and the Block Update Detector Advanced. These will emit a redstone signal when a block that is touching it has upgraded. So let's say we have some farm land. There we go. And seed. And then a watering can. Put that there. Oh, actually here, let's grab ourselves a redstone lamp as well. Alright, so as you see when I place the seed, it emits a redstone pulse. Now if I watering can, set it to morning real quick. Watering can. When the wheat grows, it shall... It did not... Oh, that's because that's a meta update. Let's grab ourselves that. Hoe. There we go. Place the hoe with that. That. And now we watering can. And, oh, see the metadata changed for the wheat crop growth and the light flashed. The Block Update Detector Advanced will also detect meta ID changes, which is like crop growth stage or damage values, whereas the Block Update Detector will only update when, like, a block changes. Pretty simple. Next up, we have the various conduits, or transfer nodes, and pipes, as they're called in this. You have the transfer node of items, liquids, energy, and hyperenergy. You also have the retrieval node of items and liquids. As for the various pipes, you have the basic transfer pipe, the sorting pipe, the filter pipe, rationing pipe, energy pipe, crossover pipe, mod sorting pipe, energy extraction pipe, and the hyper rationing pipe. I will explain what all those pipes do now. The transfer pipe does exactly what it sounds like. Let's grab ourselves a stack of grass, I guess, since that's what I clicked on. There we go. We have all this grass in this here chest. It is going into this transfer node and popping out into this chest via the transfer node and a transfer pipe. Next up, we have the sorting pipe, which I already have stuff in here. I have cobblestone, and I have dirt. Now let's, there we go, lower that up. So we have cobblestone, dirt, cobblestone, dirt, cobblestone, dirt, dirt, cobblestone. You get the picture. Alright, so the transfer node will pull out the first available item, which in this case currently is cobblestone. Cobblestone is going into this chest, while the dirt is going into this chest. The sorting pipe, as they're placed here, will only allow items into a chest if A, the chest is empty, or B, if there's a similar item already in the chest. So since these chests were empty, cobblestone was put in first, so it went into the first chest available. Dirt was the next, and it was searching for an empty inventory to put it in, since there was no dirt currently in the lines or in any inventories that were attached to the pipes. And they went into this other chest, and they are currently going in as well. So that's how the sorting pipe works. It will search for either an empty inventory or an inventory that already has a similar item to that. Pretty nifty. Next up, we have the filter pipe. Let's grab this, some podzol, some smooth stone, some grass, and some dirt. Now to set up the filter pipe, you just right click on it with an empty hand, and then the various different colors of pipes will let you know where everything's being directed. Green is podzol, blue is dirt, yellow is grass, and white is stone. So as you see here, green is going to here, yellow to there, white up, and blue back. So when I toss all these in there, I guess I should wait. Okay, so green was podzol. Oh look, podzol is in there. White was stone. Stone's in there. Grass and dirt. So pretty nifty. It is with a single pipe you are able to transfer or sort into up to 5 different pipes with extra utility. So that's pretty nice. Next up we have the rationing pipe. Alright, so I'm using induction smelters here to show what's going on, and the rationing pipe will only stick a single stack into a given inventory. So let's do gold, gold, silver, silver, and let's toss the speed upgrade in there since this is going to take a little while. Upgrade, there we go. I'll get into what the speed upgrade does, but there we go. Speed upgrade is moving it along. They're going a bit slow. There we go. Now, as we can see here, the first induction smelter attached to a rationing pipe received 1 stack of gold, while the other received the other stack of gold. That is because the rationing pipe will not allow more than a single stack of a given item or item type into an inventory that it is attached to. So since I had 2 stacks of gold and 2 stacks of silver, that gold was here, silver were here, it searched for the first available inventory, put gold in there, and then the second available inventory and put the other stack of gold, same for silver. Pretty nifty if you have a sorting system that you want to do with single stacks. Next up, we have the energy pipe and the energy node. The energy pipe and the energy node will do exactly that. Well, do what you assume they do, transfer energy. Let's grab ourselves another nether star since I like using nether stars. Now, one thing to note, the energy pipe does nothing by itself. It must be connected to a transfer node of energy in order to do anything. The transfer node of energy will pull energy out of a generator or a capacitor bank in this case. So let's stick the nether star in, and there we go. Now you can see that it's holding 10,000 RF, but the nether star is generating 40,000 RF a tick. That's because the basic transfer node of energy will only be able to transfer 10,000 RF per side that it is on. Now say I had another nether star right there, pop in another one, then we can go over to here. Oh, I guess I was wrong. It can only transfer 10,000 RF total at any given time. So that's the downside of the transfer node of energy. The energy pipe is just that. It's a pipe that connects to a transfer node energy and the output area that you want to do it to. In this case, it is a vibrant capacitor bank. Now, the hyper energy node is slightly different. It will transfer up to, I believe, 112,000 RF per tick per side. Not positive on the per side part. We can test that. So we have a maximum output of 225,000 and a maximum input of 300,000. So when we put down the energy pipe, it is transferring 112,500 RF per tick from this one side. Now let's add our nether star generator and see if we can bump that up any. So that's generating another 40,000 RF per tick, and it's not quite at a maximum of 40,000. It's jittering about, probably because it's drawing less from this tank. Yeah, it's drawing slightly less from this tank, so it looks like 140,000-ish is its maximum transfer rate. Don't quote me on that, I'm not 100% positive. Next up, we have the crossover pipe. So the crossover pipe is nifty. You say you have a pipe that you want to go to this inventory, and a pipe that wants to go to that inventory, but for whatever reason you can't, say, go around the other pipe. You can put down a crossover pipe, and then the pipes will only connect to pipes on the opposite side. So let's grab ourselves a transfer pipe. Now see, I connected the pipe right there, but it's not connected to this crossover pipe because there's nothing on the opposite side. But once I put something on the opposite side, it will connect straight through. Same with the top, same with the sides. That's how the crossover pipe works. To illustrate this point, let's grab ourselves some more nether stars and some nether quartz. So we're going to stick the nether stars in there, and it should pop out there. Nether quartz in there should pop out there. Let's test that out. So the nether quartz is in this. Should be up there. Look at that. Nether quartz is going up. Nether stars in here should be going over here. Oh, and look, nether stars are going to over there. Let's grab those nether stars back because I have a feeling we're going to need them again. Next up, we have the mod sorting pipe. The mod sorting pipe is like the filter pipe or the rationing pipe in that it doesn't allow certain items to go in certain inventories, but as the name suggests, it does this based on the mod type. So this thermal expansion, thermal foundation, which in itself is a different mod, extra utilities, default Minecraft, and Ender IO. We have these 5 different mods. Let's stick pulverizer, leadstone gear, ender pearl, and capacitor bank in there. Look at that, sucking them all in, and everything is going to its a different inventory based on its mod type. Now let's say we have some, did I have extra utilities? Yes, I did. Let's say we have some nether star generator 64s. Stick that in there. It should be going into the extra utilities. There it is, because it shares the meta tag extra utilities. Pretty nifty. Alright, set it back to Dawn. Next up, we have the energy extraction pipe. The energy extraction pipe, while you might think will just extract from one output to another, this has a little bit of power in it, but it's not pulling into this one because there's no transfer node. The energy extraction pipe is a little bit odd in that it doesn't need to be directly connected to a power source in order to output into here. So we have 160,000 currently gaining nothing, but we have a bunch of these survivalist generators over here, and they're all connected to energy extraction pipes. The nifty thing about energy extraction pipes is you can have a bunch of them connected up to different generators, then have an energy pipe which is connected to a transfer node of energy or a hyper transfer node. And it will draw from all of the generators and then put into this capacitor bank via the energy pipe. Now, have a bunch of coal in here. Stick on that to connect it all. There we go. And we are now generating 40 RF per tick from all these various survivalist generators. Should be 45. Ah, there we go. Didn't have enough stacks, so it's currently generating 40 by pulling from 8 of those. When I stick in these last coal, it should be generating 45 from all 9 of those survivalist generators. Pretty nifty if you ask me, because that way you don't have to make a bunch of energy nodes. Say if you have a line of survivalist generators or whatever your generators are, you can have just these energy extraction pipes going to an energy node, which can then feed into the rest of your system. Alright, next up we have the hyper rationing node. The hyper rationing node will do exactly as the rationing node does, but more severe. The hyper rationing node will only stick a single item of a given type into a inventory. So here, just to illustrate the point, we have a bunch of different colors of lapis lazuli and some nether stars. These two inventories right here are connected to the hyper rationing pipe, while this inventory right here is just connected to a basic transfer pipe. So, stick all of this in there. Grab out half of those nether stars because we're probably going to need them again. And we're getting one of each type in there. And then the rest are flowing into that. And it's going to keep doing that for the rest of the items, as you can see. So that's what the hyper rationing pipe does. Inserts a single item of a given type into an inventory. And who is messaging me on Skype? Go away. Alright. So next up we have the various upgrades to the pipe. First is a speed upgrade, which we've already seen. Each upgrade of speed that you put into a transfer node will increase its operations per second. It will also increase the speed at which it searches for an inventory in its transfer pipes. The item filter is a little bit different. It acts as a filter pipe, but instead of being on the pipe that you put it in, you just hold it in your hand and put the items in. So like, say I only want nether stars to go into this item filter, it will only take item filters. Now it doesn't actually consume the item, it just creates a ghost item, so that's not nifty. So it's only looking for nether stars in this. Now, say we grab ourselves a crafting table and a redstone torch. Plop down the crafting table. Put the item filter in there. Now we have an inverted item filter where it's looking for everything but nether stars. So you can whitelist or blacklist based on whether or not there is a redstone torch crafted with it. And see there, it went back to a whitelist only. Alright, so that's the item filter upgrade. Next up, we have the world interaction upgrade, which will allow transfer nodes and liquid transfer of items and transfer nodes of liquid to interact with the physical world. I will get into that more a little bit later. Then we have the stack upgrade. The stack upgrade is a little bit different because you only need one for transfer nodes of items and liquid, and it will pull out the maximum possible that it can per operation. So for items it will pull out 64 if it's a 64 stack, and liquids it will pull up to 8,000 buckets, I'm not sure, per operation. Next up we have the ender transmitters, which will allow you to transmit items, liquids, or energy across an area that is not connected, say from one transfer node to another. The problem with the ender transmitters is that they are slightly inefficient for energy, and they are currently broken for items, or they're not intended to work with items in this version. Next up we have the breadth first upgrade, which is an upgrade to the depth first. Breadth first will look for all inventories, and try to search out for that, whereas the depth first will try to search out for the farthest inventory away, while the breadth first will search for the closest inventory. In the pseudo round robin, it will just send items around in its little invisible pipe until it finds an inventory that it is able to do it. Say if you have a square of transfer pipes. Now, how do you get the transmitters to work? Because as you'll notice on the text, it says unspecified frequency. You must upgrade this in an anvil to choose a frequency. It's pretty simple. You just stick it in an anvil and change the name to whatever you want. Let's just do it transfer. And it is now on the frequency of transfer, and you have to do it to the other one as well. So transfer. Now they must be spelt the same and use the same capitalization, otherwise they will be on a different frequency. That is something very important that you must note. Alright, so let's look at these Ender transmitters. So see, I have a frequency of items trying to send a lapis lazuli to a retrieval node of on items, and it's not receiving anything. Let's grab a transfer node of items, stick it on the ground there, and grab the receiver. See if that makes any difference. Nope, still not receiving it because items are currently not able to be sent through the Ender transmitters and receivers. That is not the case with the... Actually, we don't need that. With liquids. So we have a transfer node right here that wants to transmit custard. I don't know why I grabbed a custard barrel, but there we go. It is looking for an inventory to send 8,000 millibuckets of custard to. Once we stick the Ender receiver here, it is receiving 200 millibuckets of custard, and it's going into this drum right here. Now you can increase that operation if you had more Ender receivers. So let's grab the items and the items, transmitter and receiver. Actually, I don't think you can have different names, so this is transfer. Go over to here, transfer, transfer, public spectrum, transmitter, and receiver. Nope, that did not increase the rate at which it is drawing or sending. Probably because we don't have any speed upgrades. Upgrade. Let's grab ourselves a stack upgrade and a speed upgrade. Stack upgrade. It is now drawing full 8,000 per, and it is trying to receive that amount of custard every operation. Now let's put in a speed upgrade, which will make it draw that faster, and it's going up a bit faster. So yeah, it's working. So sticking a stack upgrade in there does in fact increase its push rate of custard. Alright, so last up we have a generator. Let's say this is a generator bank sending power to this capacitor bank right here. Let's grab these since we will want to show that. Alright, so let's stick another star in there. It is generating 40,000 RF a tick. It's holding that, but it's only receiving 240 RF a tick. Now let's say we stick a stack upgrade in there and grab ourselves another stack upgrade, stick it in there. Still only generating 240 RF a tick. That's because the transmitters here only work based on the amount for power. So if I stick in 2 transmitters there, 2 receivers here, its input rate has been increased to 480. That is because each transmitter will transmit or receive 240 RF per tick per Ender transmitter. But that it only applies to energy, as we saw with the liquid. It doesn't matter. Alright, so next up we have the world interaction upgrade. Let's say, so here's how you generate cobble with extra utilities. You have a source of water and a source of lava. I do it like this, one away, and a cobblestone in between. Now let's grab ourselves the world interaction upgrade. Stick it in there, and you'll note that cobblestone is now in the transfer node, whereas before it wasn't. Now it is. It is generating cobblestone as if it were mining that cobblestone in between the lava and the water. Now you can increase its operations by putting in a stack upgrade, and it will do nothing, because stack upgrades don't matter for the transfer node except for its transferring. But if you add a second world interaction upgrade, the cobblestone increases to 2. If I up that to 64, it's getting to 64. So we're generating 64 cobblestone per operation at this point. Let's stop that because that's a bit ridiculous. You can also stick in some speed upgrades. Let's stick in 1, and you'll notice how it's flashing now because it is going a little bit faster. Stick in some more, and it stays off, but it's still transferring cobblestone because it is not able to mine it quickly enough for its transfer operations. If we add a couple more world interaction upgrades, it would be sending them at a little bit faster rate. So that's how the interaction upgrade works with the transfer node of items. Now let's grab ourselves a transfer node of liquids. Grab that. Put that on the sandstone for the time being. Grab ourselves a bucket of water. Put the bucket of water there. And we now have an infinite source of liquid. Let's grab ourselves a drum, just to illustrate this point. Alright, so we have a drum connected to this transfer node, and get out of drums because that causes client lag. So it's not doing anything at the moment. We stick in a world interaction upgrade, and it is now drawing 1,000 millibuckets of water every operation. Stick in a second one, it's going up to 1,500. Stick in another. So the first one will allow you to draw 1 bucket's worth, and then each interaction upgrade after that will allow you to draw an additional 500 millibuckets of water that is currently going into the drum. Now if I add some speed upgrades, it is transferring a little bit faster, but it only looks like it's holding 1.75, which is half, because it is doing twice the operations in the time that it did previously. So that's how that works, and the drum is now full, so sad day for the drum. Anyway, so that's how the world interaction upgrade works. Let's go back to the upgrade chest. I don't have any chests or anything set up for these three right here, because with the extra utilities transfer pipes, they're opaque and don't actually do anything. They kind of just teleport the items. So there's no way to illustrate that as with like a buildcraft pipe or whatever. So this will look for the first available inventory. This will keep looking for inventories regardless, and this will look for all inventories that are available. So that is those upgrades, and that is part 2 of Extra Utilities Mod Spotlight. I believe that is pretty much everything. The last bit that I can just show you right now is how do you get this colored glowstone? Well, you just make yourself a paintbrush and a dye. It's pretty simple. Just use any eye, and the paintbrush is just some sticks and string. So it's not complicated at all to make yourself some different colored glowstone lamps or whatever. They'll still emit white light unless you have another mod installed that lets you emit colored light. So that's that. That's pretty much everything for extra utilities. The last thing that you might want to know about is the angel rings. These are pretty expensive, requiring a nether star and some unstable ingots, but they give you creative flying when you are in survival mode. But toss it out, you don't have creative flying anymore, can't fly. And it doesn't even have to be on your hotbar. So look at that. It's not on my hotbar. I'm still able to fly. Just needs to be in your inventory. So that's pretty nifty. That's most of extra utilities. There's a couple things left, but they're not too hard to use or not exactly useful. So I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next episode, which I don't know what it is going to be on, but it's probably going to be another Mod Spotlight or tutorial. In any case, I hope you enjoyed and learned some things about extra utilities. Until next time, bye-bye now.